Have I ever told you that I really love solar lights? I mean, living out in the country, they are very convenient, no power, the sun is there, charges it up, and you have light at night. They're awesome. Well, my wife said, we have way too many. I said, what? No, we don't. All we have is the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the Bionic Spotlight, the Everbright Ultra, the Color Guardian, the LED Solar Wall, and the solar-powered street light. That is not even enough. So today, we're going to be looking at another one, and this is called the Solar Bionic Light. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. My channel is dedicated to reviewing mostly as seen on TV items. I look at some consumer products, other household items. Once in a while, I do a little bit of a DIY just because I like to. If that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click the bell below. That way you're notified every time I release a video just like this one. One more thing, don't forget to check down the description for my social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I would love it if you would follow me there too. Now, let's take a closer look at the Solar Bionic Light to see if it's any good. Here is our Bell & Howell Solar Bionic Light. Now, I don't know if you can tell just from the camera, but this thing is monstrous. Much bigger than the other as seen on TV lights that I've seen. From this side over to this side here, it's 9 inches and it's 3 inches tall. This thing is awesome. It's about $25 and I purchased it from my local as seen on TV retailer. Unfortunately, this thing is heat sealed in there, so I'm going to have to cut it open. So let's work on that right now. That should do it. So I do see that I have some 3M stickers and there's also some screws in there. Man, this thing is huge. I do have a set of directions or instructions here and I will look at that. But look at this thing. It is sweet looking. All right, so on the back, I don't have my on-off switch there. So I think this button here must be my on-off switch. So that makes sense, but look at the solar panels and all the LED lights. Let me read through the directions to see what I'm supposed to do. The directions tell you for first use, you need to charge this for a full 18 hours, so put it out in the sun and leave it off. After that, it just needs 8 hours, so a typical day. Let me show you the 2 settings it has. So if I push the on button, this is the bright setting, so typically it would be off, but if it detects motion, it'll turn on and stays on for about 20 seconds, then it goes off. If I hit the button a second time, it goes into what's known as eco mode. And so if eco mode now detects movement, it brightens up and it stays bright for 20 seconds and then it goes back to the dim mode until it detects motion again. And so that will stay on dim all night. That's probably the mode I'm going to be using because I like having it lit all night and then light up bright when I walk into it. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to put it outside for 2 days before installing it and then testing it out. The Solar Bionic Light has been sitting out in the sun now for 2 days. I have had it in the off position, so it's just been charging. I'm looking forward to testing to see if this was actually extra bright, or we'll just see how bright it is. I did want to show you the difference between this one and the Atomic Beam Sunblast, just to show you the size difference of the 2 lights. I mean, look at this. This is not even a comparison. The Bionic Light is so much bigger. We can look at the side comparison. Yeah, it's just monstrous in comparison to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have these set up right next to each other outside. I'm going to use the screws to install the Bionic Light. And of course, I already used the screws to install the Sunblast. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably have this placed in a different location than where I test it. But let's go set it up right now. Here are the lights I have installed. We're actually looking at this one right here, and that is the Solar Bionic Light, but I'll show you this one I've done a review before. This is my Bionic Spotlight. In the middle, we have the Atomic Beam Sunblast. Tonight, we're gonna see which one is brightest just looking at it, and then we'll also get a view of the ground behind me to see which one lights it up. But there we go, all sun, all day. All right, so let's test these lights out. I wanna see which one's motion sensor works the best. So I'm going to start walking forward. That one that's lit up is the Bionic Solar Light, or the Solar Bionic Light. So let's start stepping forward. As I'm getting closer to the lights, we're going to see, well, do any of them sense that I'm here? Oop. All right, so actually it looked like they all turned on at the same time. I have the Bionic Spotlight, the Atomic Sunbeam, and of course the Solar Bionic Light. They are all very bright. I will say that the Solar Bionic Light looks as though it's the least bright or the dimmest out of all of them, but that could be the type of bulbs they put in. Oh, that also shut off quicker, and I'm still here moving, so that's interesting. So, tell me, what do you think of the Solar Bionic Light? I would love to get your opinion. Let me know down in the comment section below. This is just the area lit up through the Solar Bionic Light. It projects about maybe 10-15 feet of good visibility. After that, you can't really tell anymore, but it does light up the immediate area. Here's the atomic beam. You can tell that the area is much wider, but it's also a lot brighter of an area. It's pretty interesting to see the difference. And then finally, here's the Bionic Spotlight. As you can see, it is more of just a spotlight. It shines down this immediate area. You can see a beginning and ending. It doesn't fade off as the other ones do, but it's this immediate area is lit up. So as you can see, the Solar Bionic Light has lasted all evening. This is the low setting. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. This is the low setting. What you see, it's sort of like a soft white. It's interesting. It's definitely different than some of the other really bright ones. I know it was hard looking at the two different videos to see the difference between the two lights, but here we have a head-to-head. Now this is just a still shot. On the left, we have the Solar Bionic Light, and on the right, we have the Atomic Beam Sunblast. As you can see, the Sunblast is a lot brighter, and it shows more area of the backyard. Now, if you're looking for something bright, you might want to stay away from the Solar Bionic Light, but if you want a dim light, this might be the one for you. In this video, we've been looking at the Solar Bionic Light. So what are my thoughts? Well, when I first got it, I was really excited. The size of the light, this is gonna light up my entire yard and all my lighting problems will be answered. Well, then I charged it and used it and I was kind of disappointed. It was really dim, or it's a softer light than typical lights. So for me, it didn't really do what I wanted it to do. That being said, some people may want a dimmer or a softer light that's outside because some of these as seen on TV brights are pretty abrasive and bright. As for me, my Everbright Ultra is that perfect lighting for me when no one's around, and when you step into view of it, it lights up even brighter. Anyway, if this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. Although we are not looking at the Everbright Ultra, I wanted to show you that it's still working. This is in its dim mode, and as I step closer, it brightens up right away. This is actually my favorite as seen on TV light because it's the brightest, I think, and I like that it lights up the area and stays on all night. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review of the Solar Bionic Light. You know what? In this video, not that long ago, I referenced my Everbright Ultra, and that is my favorite as seen on TV light so far. It used to be the Atomic Beam, but now it's the Everbright Ultra. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link that review right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm gonna join you at that review. Go ahead, click it, it's safe, I promise.